Today we are going to talk about the monthly crazy expenses of a billionaire. They have a lot of money and they spend a lot. The average person does not have this much money, but they can afford it because they have so much. Let's start by looking at what the cost of living in your house is. This number can change depending on the size of the home and location. But let's take one example from a real estate agent to give you an idea of what to expect. Jeff Green is the president of a company. He is worth $5.1 billion. Jeff has a mansion in Beverly Hills that he wants to sell for $129 million, but you can buy it for 20% down payment up front. This means that the mortgage for this mansion would cost $103.2 million. Let's say that there is a 875% interest rate on this 30-year fixed-rate mortgage. That means that the monthly cost for this mansion is $485,285 per month. And this number does not include maintenance, insurance, and your property tax. Jeff Green put his house on the market. He first asked for $195 million, but no one wanted to buy it. So he lowered the price until it is now $129 million. He said, "This house has been a terrible deal for me. We're into this thing for probably $80 million, or $90 million at least. We'll be lucky if we get our money back after years of carrying costs." Another expense that you have to pay monthly is your car. You might be living the dream when you buy that super sports car. But then, there are many more expenses that you need to think about, such as the price and the cost of parts. Elon Musk is a good example of this. He bought an expensive car after he sold PayPal. He spent $1 million on a new car. It was not only for show. Cars are complicated and need a lot of attention or they won't work well. They need tires changed often, about every 2,500 miles, and that costs $33,000 when you add in taxes, service, etc. You will spend about $150,000. That is $12,330 per month. But Elon doesn't seem to care about driving top-of-the-line cars anymore. It might be because he crashed his McLaren F1. He had used it every day for 11,000 miles and drove it from LA to San Francisco. We had the McLaren F1 as a regular, daily driver. But then it hit an embankment and was thrown into the air like a discus. It kept rotating before it slammed down on the ground. The car is now worth $20 million because of today's market for cars at auctions in Monterey, California. When you think of the richest people, you think about yachts. That's why they are there. They can cost $200 million and people love them. They are loved by not only billionaires, but also famous actors in Hollywood. David Geffen is worth $10.6 billion. He is the creator of Geffen Records. He owns a mega yacht that costs about $590 million and is 454 feet long. But it doesn't come cheap. He spends about $34,000 on gas each month alone. And if you want to dock your yacht, that costs $29,160 each month. And the staff on these boats are big too. If you own a yacht, it is hard to run by yourself. A crew for the yacht might make $1.4 million per year, which would mean that they are paid $116,700 every month. That is why yachts are only for rich people. When you are a billionaire, there are a lot of expenses that you now have to take care of. One of those is throwing parties. Yes, you can make friends with rich people. It is part of the job of being an entrepreneur. Lots of rich people are doing it too. You can ask Stephen A. Schwartzman, CEO of the Blackstone Group, who is worth $32.4 billion at the time I am writing this article. The man spent $5 million on his 60th birthday and $20 million on his 70th. You can spend a lot of money when you have $1 billion in the bank. For our thought experiment, let's say that billionaires throw 3 parties per year and spend $10 million at each party. $2,465,730 per month just on boogieing down with your buddies. It must be nice to have a lot of money. When you are in the public eye, you need to stay healthy. Rich people usually have their own personal trainers. To keep healthy, they do cardio and work out with weights. Fabrics is one of the most famous personal trainers. He trains billionaires. 1 hour with him costs $1,340. If you work out with Fabrics every day for a month, then your cost is $6,700 per week or $26,800 for a month. You have kids. If you are a billionaire, then someone needs to take care of them when you are gone. The cost of a full-time nanny is thousands and thousands of dollars per month. There was one family who posted on a childcare website that they needed a full-time nanny for their 4 kids. The people wanted someone who could work 6 days a week from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. The person had to be able to travel internationally up to 3 times a week, have a degree in psychology for kids, and have 15 years of experience as a nanny. They were going to offer someone $129,000 salary plus the use of their family Porsche, Range Rover, and Maserati. What does that cost to look like? That will cost $10,750 each month. We have one more expense for you guys, and it is personal security. If you are in the public and people know who you are, then you need special protection. Mark Zuckerberg was worth over $128 billion when he wrote the article. Facebook paid for extra security in 2017, and it cost them about $7.3 million. What does that look like? It is $608,333 per month. That means the Zuck is safe. The money was well spent. Some billionaires don't live like a billionaire. The answer is that yes, some of them don't. David Sheridan, a Stanford professor who made his riches by investing in Google, is worth $1.3 billion. He said he doesn't like how the richest people live their lives. His most recent splurge was a 2012 Honda Odyssey. Maybe these 1%ers can learn a lesson from this guy about what life is really about. Life is not just about how many things you have. We will see you next time right here on Ultra Rich.